Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer, where we take raw information, research, and data and transform it all into clear insights. Today, we're unpacking something absolutely fascinating. We got our hands on a set of internal meeting minutes from a highly technical team's weekly AI sync. Now, I know what you're thinking. Usually, these kinds of operational docs are pretty dry, right? Just endless lists of bugs, software updates, API keys. But not this one. While this team was reviewing their massive technical output, they stumbled onto a really profound truth about productivity, burnout, and what it genuinely takes to grow alongside artificial intelligence. It turns out mastering AI isn't really about the code at all. It's actually all about personal growth. Let's see exactly how they figured this out.
So I want you to think about this question for a second. Are you using AI, or is the rush of AI using you? It's a heavy question. We are all adopting these incredible tools at an absolute breakneck pace, trying to be faster, more efficient, trying to do more with way less. But the team in our source document started noticing something kind of dark, hiding beneath all their amazing productivity metrics. They were dealing with an unseen burnout. They realized that sprinting constantly, just trying to keep up with the processing speed of machines, was taking a massive emotional toll on everyone. And to really understand how they got to that realization, we first need to look at just how hard they were pushing the tech.
Section 1. The AI application landscape. To get the full picture, we really have to ground ourselves in their heavy, day-to-day workload. The sheer volume of technical work they were doing is staggering. For instance, Speaker 2 used an AI model to crank out 4 entirely new apps in just a matter of days. No way, right? Then you have Speaker 5, who actually maxed out their data limit on this ultra-fast AI processing tool called Grok. They literally used 100% of their weekly premium capacity just generating projects and images. Meanwhile, the whole team is deploying another system called Nova, this broad enterprise AI, for bilingual video analysis, purchasing, and even invoicing. They are pushing these systems to their absolute computational limits. And the AI usage doesn't even stop at individual projects for them. They are automating the very heartbeat of their daily operations. Every single day at 3 p.m., an AI agent they call Grok automatically fires off updates and summarizes work directly on Google Drive. They're generating dynamic QR codes for their terror rooms to cross-sell apartments. They're even architecting this massive solution to archive, secure, and intelligently query over 8,000 work emails based on past legal cases. I mean, the technical output is just mind-blowing. But beneath this hyper-productive surface, cracks were definitely starting to form.
Section 2. The barrier of impatience.
When you're operating at that kind of crazy velocity, the friction isn't usually the software, right? It's human. The narrative inside these meeting minutes suddenly pivots away from technical bug reports to a very real, very honest discussion about the emotional toll it was all taking. The team identified a specific psychological barrier they were all hitting. In their notes, they called it nongvoy, which basically translates to a deep sense of impatience or rushing. Speaker 4 bravely brought up this highly relatable struggle to the group. Think about it. When you use AI, everything happens instantly. You type a prompt, and boom, a second later you have a page of code or a full essay. This creates an intense, overwhelming internal pressure to move as fast as the machines do. But humans just can't process information like that. Unlike our laptops, we can't just upgrade our internal RAM when we get overwhelmed. This constant nagging impatience to match the AI's speed was directly leading to severe fatigue and discouragement across the team. And it was right in the middle of this discussion that Speaker 3 dropped this absolute gem of a quote. They said, "Controlling psychology accounts for 80% of success." That right there was the team's massive aha moment. They finally realized that successfully integrating AI into your workflow isn't just about writing the perfect prompt or managing your API limits. Fundamentally, it's a psychological challenge. If you can't manage your own expectations, your own patience, and your own stress, the technology is going to completely burn you out. Section 3. AI and psychological training. So this realization completely shifted the tone of their meeting. Instead of just using AI as an endless output generator, they realized they actually needed it for their own mental and personal growth. They started looking at AI through a totally different lens, as a mirror. See, when you're feeling that intense impatience, that nongvoid, your thoughts get super clouded. But in AI, it's totally unemotional. It's purely logical. By interacting with it, the team found it actually helped them process their own tangled emotions. It forced them to articulate their problems clearly. And ultimately, it helped them look at their work with a renewed sense of clarity and calmness. The meeting minutes actually outlined some specific psychological tactics they started using. First, Speaker 6 noted that they literally confide in AI, calling it a lifesaver to talk through problems and relieve stress. Just think about that for a second, using a chatbot as a sounding board to regain your emotional control. Second, the entire team agreed to shift their focus. They stopped just blindly building more and more apps and instead focused purely on their intrinsic motivation. If they didn't feel a genuine, comfortable spark to learn something new, they wouldn't force it. And finally, they committed to actively sharing their AI knowledge with each other. They realized that teaching and discussing these tools completely reduces the isolation and pressure of trying to learn everything all by yourself.
Section 4. Essential human skills.
Now, if we accept that we can't act like machines, what exactly is our role in all this? The team took a really hard look at the direct contrast between what machines can do and what human skills are actually needed. They identified the AI's core strengths as synthesis, prediction, language, and memory. Let's be real, the machine is always going to be way faster at summarizing a huge document or remembering a massive data set. You literally cannot compete there. But the essential human skills required to make it all work? Independent thinking, the ability to ask deep, probing questions, limiting the scope of a project so the AI doesn't just go completely off the rails, and constantly verifying the results. The team's consensus was clear. Don't try to outremember the AI. Outthink it by asking way better questions.
Section 5. 50-50 parallel development.
This directly brings us to a really smart proposal from Speaker 5 on how to sustainably move forward. They warned the group against the very real danger of 100% reliance on AI. If you just sit back and let the AI do all the writing, all the coding, and all the heavy thinking, it completely stunts your personal growth. You literally stop developing. Instead, Speaker 5 proposed what they called a true 50-50 partnership. 50% of the output should definitely rely on the AI's massive capabilities, but the other 50%, that absolutely must come from human effort. Your taste, your editing, your emotional intelligence. You have to develop parallel to the AI, not just ride along behind it. Building on that 50-50 philosophy, the team actually outlined a brilliant step-by-step action plan for personal growth that honestly any of us can use right now. Step 1. Rely strictly on intrinsic motivation. Learn about AI because you genuinely want to, not because you're panicked about falling behind. Step 2. Literally ask your AI what skills you need to improve to be a better partner to it. Step 3. Share your knowledge to relieve the pressure on your peers. And step 4, which might be the most important, above all else, maintain a patient, comfortable mindset. Accept your human limits. To really anchor this whole philosophy, the team shared an incredibly inspiring anecdote during their meeting. They talked about an older lawyer working with them who successfully threw themselves into mastering AI and coding. Now, the goal wasn't just to work faster or crank out more documents. The goal was to use the AI as a bridge to communicate better with the technical team. It just goes to show you that continuous learning is totally timeless. No matter your background, no matter your age, if you approach AI with patience and a genuine desire for personal growth, you absolutely can adapt and thrive. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. We've seen exactly how rushing leads straight to burnout, and how true success actually comes from finding that 50-50 balance. So ask yourself this: what uniquely human skill are you going to practice with your AI today? Is it going to be independent thinking, deep questioning, or maybe you just need to practice a little bit of patience? Remember, the machine is always ready when you are. Thanks so much for joining us, and keep learning.